Welcome, deep divers. Today, we are really plunging into something fascinating and honestly often overlooked. It's this immense, almost miracle-working power of your subconscious mind. Now, many of you, you know the subconscious handles automatic stuff, right? Bodily functions. But the sources we're looking at today, they take that idea much, much further. So our mission here is to unpack what these sources say, how this hidden power operates, everything from, the physical body stuff to actually shaping your reality and even facilitating some really profound healing. We found some surprising history, some practical things you can try. It's really a journey into the unseen architecture inside you. Okay, let's dive in then. When these sources talk about the subconscious mind, what is it fundamentally? What does it do? It sounds like way more than just a background thing.
Oh, absolutely. That's exactly it. The subconscious, as described here, it's just vast, an immense part of who you are. It's the silent force, It inspires you, guides you. It can pull up facts, names, memories almost effortlessly. And think about this, without any conscious effort from you, it started your heartbeat. It controls your blood circulation precisely, regulates digestion, assimilation, elimination, all of it. You eat, say, a piece of bread, and this subconscious mind, it transmutes it, turns it into tissue, muscle, bone, blood. That whole process is, well, it's way beyond what our conscious minds can really comprehend. And here's a key thing. It never sleeps, never rests, always active, silently running all the vital processes, all the functions of your body. And what's really fascinating, the idea that it holds the answers to, well, all your problems.
Okay, so it's definitely doing the heavy lifting biologically, keeping the lights on, basically.
Yeah.
But you mentioned inspiration, guidance. Does it also fuel, like, our higher stuff, ideals, aspirations, maybe even altruism?
Absolutely. The sources definitely suggest it's not just maintenance, it's also the source, the wellspring of those higher things. It was through the subconscious, they argue, that someone like Shakespeare perceived these deep universal truths. Or Michelangelo could see that perfect symmetry in a block of marble, Raphael's Madonnas, Beethoven's symphonies. The idea is this power flowed through them from the subconscious. And the deeper insight, I think, is that this power connects us to what the sources actually call omnipotence, which is basically this universal intelligence, the force behind the planets, the sun, and it's inside us too. This part of the subconscious goes beyond our intellect. It might explain things like clairvoyance, clairaudience, being independent of time and space, almost. And crucially, the power to free us from pain and suffering.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. Moving from these big ideas to actual impact, if it's that powerful.
Yeah.
What about healing? You mentioned an anecdote.
Yes, a really remarkable one. Dr. James Esdale, a Scotch surgeon in Bengal, this was back in the 1840s, so 1843 to 1846, long before modern anesthesia like ether or chloroform, and yet Dr. Esdale performed around 400 major operations. We're talking amputations, tumor removals, eye, ear, throat surgeries, major stuff. And he did it using only mental anesthesia.
400.
Yeah.
Without chemical painkillers. That's hard to even imagine. What happened to the patients? What were the outcomes, given the era?
The outcomes were frankly astonishing, especially for that time. His post-operative mortality rate, exceptionally low, maybe 2 or 3%. And get this, no deaths during the operations themselves.
How did he manage that?
Well, apparently he would suggest to the patient's subconscious mind while they were in a hypnotic state that no infection or septic condition would develop. Now remember, this was before Pasteur and Lister, before germ theory, before sterilization was understood.
Right, they didn't know about bacteria causing infections from instruments back then.
Exactly. So this case, as the sources point out, it evokes this sense of mystic awe. It really points back to those transcendental powers we were just talking about, this deep, innate healing intelligence.
Okay, so that really brings us to the mechanism, doesn't it? If the subconscious can heal like that, what does this mean for us right now? How our inner world shapes our outer reality?
It means, well, pretty much everything. The core principle here is maybe the most powerful insight we found. Whatever thoughts, beliefs, opinions, theories, or dogmas you write, engrave, or impress on your subconscious mind, you shall experience them as the objective manifestation of circumstances, conditions, and events.
Wow. So it's not just thinking positive, it's deeper.
Much deeper. It's like your inner convictions are literally the blueprints for your outer world. Put simply, what you write on the inside, you will experience on the outside. Your conscious mind accepts a thought. That thought gets sent down to your solar plexus. The sources call it the brain of your mind, like a command center for the subconscious. And from there, it becomes manifest. It shows up in your experience. Ralph Waldo Emerson said it, man is what he thinks all day long. And William James, the father of American psychology, he also said, the power to move the world is in your subconscious. He called it one with infinite intelligence and boundless wisdom, which really underlines why harmony between the conscious and subconscious is so critical. When they work together, peacefully, synchronously, you get health, happiness, peace, joy. But if there's discord, conflict, that's where chaos and misery come from, according to these sources.
That idea of harmony, conscious and subconscious working together, it sounds incredibly powerful. Is this ancient wisdom or more of a modern psychological idea? What did the sources say?
That's a great question. And yeah, the sources are clear. This is ancient, far from modern. They talk about the wisdom found in the tomb of Hermes, remember that, opened with huge anticipation because it was supposed to hold the greatest secret of the ages.
Right, and the secret was?
As within, so without. As above, so below. Simple but profound. Whatever you impress in your subconscious gets expressed in your life. Full stop. And this wasn't just Hermes. This same truth, this law, was apparently proclaimed by Moses, Isaiah, Jesus, Buddha, Zoroaster, Lao Tzu, major figures across history. It's presented as the great law of life. Impress it inside, express it outside, which leads right into the law of action and reaction. Your thought, that's the action. Your subconscious mind's automatic response, that's the reaction. So if you're feeling frustrated, the sources suggest it's often because desires aren't being fulfilled. And here's the really crucial warning. If you dwell on obstacles, difficulties, negative stuff, your subconscious just responds to that. It actually blocks your own good from happening. Negative, destructive thoughts that generate destructive emotions. And those can manifest physically. Ulcers, heart issues, tension, anxiety, the list goes on. Your current state, your health, finances, relationships, social standing, it's all apparently a perfect reflection of the idea you hold of yourself deep down. But the actionable insight is also simple. Feed your subconscious mind life-giving thoughts. Start doing that, and you begin to erase those negative patterns.
Okay, it makes sense in theory, but I bet people listening are thinking, okay, but how does this actually play out, especially with healing? Can you give us some more concrete examples from the sources? Really bring it to life.
Absolutely. There's a fascinating case about healing a skin malignancy. It involved a clergyman. Medical treatments had failed. Things were getting worse. Then a friend who knew about this mind stuff explained Psalm 139. In thy book, all my members were written. He interpreted book as the subconscious mind, the thing that fashioned the whole body from, basically nothing. And the logic was simple. If the subconscious made the body, it can recreate it. It can heal it, following the perfect pattern within.
Like a watchmaker fixing their own watch.
Exactly that analogy. The intelligence that created it knows how to fix it, knows how to restore and direct everything. So the clergyman used this simple, powerful prayer, something like, my body and all its organs were created by the infinite intelligence in my subconscious mind. It knows how to heal me. This infinite healing presence is now transforming every atom, making me whole and perfect now, by consciously feeding these life-giving patterns, wholeness, beauty, perfection into the subconscious. The negative images, the disease pattern was just obliterated. And the key insight again, nothing appears on your body except when the mental equivalent is first in your mind. Then there's that famous case from Lourdes, Madame Beer. She was blind, optic nerves totally atrophied, useless according to doctors. She goes to Lourdes, has what they called a miraculous healing. Initially, doctors examined her and were baffled she could see, but with eyes that still looked, dead. Non-functional. But a month later, follow-up exams showed the whole mechanism was restored, normal. And the key insight for us, belief is a thought in the subconscious mind. It means to accept something as true. The thought accepted executes itself automatically. Her intense expectation, her unwavering faith. It allowed her subconscious, the power that originally created the eye, to bring that dead nerve back to life. So it's not just about the fact of healing in these stories, it's the pattern. People found specific ways, relaxation, vivid imagery to get past conscious doubt and impress that perfect health blueprint inside.
Those are incredibly powerful examples. Responding to a clear idea, a deep belief. What about other things, like something as serious as lung cancer? Or even functional paralysis, something that seems more mental.
Yeah, the sources cover those too. There's a story of a Protestant minister in Johannesburg, lung cancer. His method involved getting into a really deep state of relaxation, both mental and physical. He'd actually talk to his body parts, tell his feet to relax, ankles, legs, heart, lungs, head, guiding himself into this sleepy, drowsy state.
Okay, almost like self-hypnosis.
Sort of, yeah. Deep relaxation. And in that state, he would affirm a specific truth over and over, something like, the perfection of God is now being expressed through me. The idea of perfect health is filling my subconscious. The image God has of me is perfect. My subconscious recreates my body according to that perfect image. Sustained, relaxed affirmation, creating that new blueprint. And then the functional paralysis case. A man with a mental block, Couldn't walk, even though physically nothing was wrong. The solution involved what the sources call disciplined or scientific imagination. He was told to vividly picture himself doing normal things in his office, walking, touching the desk, answering the phone.
Not just thinking about it, but living it in his mind.
Exactly. Feeling the reality of it, impressing that picture of perfect health, perfect function onto the subconscious. He did this consistently. Then one day, weeks later, the phone rings. Wife and nurse are out. And without even thinking about it, he just gets up and walks 12 feet to answer it. Spontaneously. His subconscious just responded to that vivid mental picture. The healing power flowed through his focused attention. He was healed. These cases really show the power of specific, directed mental techniques.
Okay, so after hearing all this, the profound insights, these incredible examples, the big question for everyone listening has to be, how do we actually use this?
Yeah.
How do we consciously get our subconscious working for us practically in our daily lives?
Yeah.
What are the steps the sources suggest?
Right, the most vital part, how to apply it. First, truly realize your subconscious is always working. Day, night, building, maintaining your body, you don't consciously perceive it. So your main focus, it needs to be on your conscious mind. That's the part you steer. You need to keep that conscious mind, as the sources say, busy with the expectation of the best. Make sure your habitual thoughts, the ones you entertain repeatedly, are about things that are lovely, true, just, and of good report. Because your conscious mind, it's like the doorkeeper to the subconscious. It decides what gets in. Think of it like water, right? The life principle, this energy, it flows through you according to the nature of your thoughts. So consciously affirm things. Claim that the healing presence in your subconscious is flowing through you as harmony, health, peace, joy, and abundance. Claim it. It helps to think of your subconscious not as some machine, but as a living intelligence, a lovely companion. Build a relationship with it almost. Fundamentally, it comes back to this. It is done unto you as you believe. Belief is key. And you absolutely have to be cautious about negative patterns. Worry, anxiety, fear, depression, they actively interfere with the harmonious function of the subconscious. The advice: learn to let go, relax, and then speak to your subconscious with authority, with conviction. Tell it what you want it to do. Command it to restore normal function. Remember, it has this powerful instinct to preserve life, restore health. It's why your body naturally tries to fight off illness or expel toxins. So the two main methods, the most potent ones the sources offer: 1, relaxed affirmations, like the minister used; 2, disciplined, vivid mental imagery, like the man with paralysis.
What an absolutely incredible exploration. It really ties together so much. Ancient wisdom, practical techniques. It just shows this immense depth of power of intelligence inside every single one of us, just waiting for our conscious direction, it seems.
It's a truly profound connection, isn't it? That constant translation from inner thoughts to outer reality. It's like having this infinite loyal partner within, always ready to carry out instructions. So for you listening, maybe here's something to ponder. Given that your subconscious is constantly translating your deepest beliefs, your habitual thoughts into your actual experience, what's one single, really potent, life-giving thought? Or one perfect idea you could choose to impress on it, starting tonight, maybe? Something that could begin reshaping your experience of life or health or joy. How would you write that perfect idea for your own book of life?